I want to talk about how you can get some practicing done when you're away from the drum set. Even as a professional touring musician, I don't always have access to the drums. So I've come up with some different ways of getting some good practice time in, no matter where you are. When traveling, it's good to travel light. So all you really need is a lightweight practice pad and your sticks. And you'll notice that I've set my practice pad up on an ironing board. And most hotel rooms still have an ironing board. What's good about the ironing board is that you can adjust it and raise it or lower it depending on how high the hotel bed is. Some hotel beds are higher than others, so you may want to raise this or lower it depending on where you want to have your practice surface. But I've found this ironing board to be a great tool when you're trying to set up a makeshift practice situation. I'm gonna play a 1-minute version of a triplet warm-up that I've developed over time, and it goes through a bunch of different things. If you wanna see the PDF for this, you can just click the link in this description. So I'll play this behind the stage on a road case. I'll play it in the hotel room on an ironing board. I'll play it on the bus. So I can do this anywhere, and I can do it for a minute right before I walk on stage, and it gets the blood flowing and it gets my facility working. Your phone is an excellent practice tool. I keep a metronome on my phone. You can also record yourself or video yourself on the phone. So this is one of the best practice tools you can use. So I'm gonna set the metronome right now to 130 and play this triplet warm-up. And that's the triplet warm-up. The reason I like this warm-up is that it works on several different things. It works on your flams, it works on diddles, and putting things on different places and working through a grid with that whole first part of putting diddles on all the different aspects of the flam accent. And then you get into the molar stuff and putting the accents of the molar stroke all over the place there. So you work on molar that way, and then working on your triples, your doubles, and your singles, then doing a double paradiddle to get to the left hand. You're working on all of your rolls, because the triples work on your buzz roll, the doubles obviously work on your double stroke roll, singles work on your single stroke roll. So this little condensed workout, this little warm-up works on all of these different things in a very short amount of time. Cool. I love practicing brushes, and I've gotten a lot of brush practicing done in hotel rooms, and I have this 13-inch brush-up pad that Remo made for me, and I wanted it in a 13-inch so that it can fit into a backpack. So I travel with these pads everywhere. They go just like this into my backpack or my carry-on, and I get a lot of shedding done this way. So I brought this pad up into Steve Smith's hotel one day. We were both playing in Japan and we're staying at the same hotel, playing different clubs. So we got together to shed some brushes. I brought my pad up and we started showing each other some stuff. But Steve was like, oh, check it out. You can play just right on the ironing board. So you may have seen Steve demonstrating this. He'll play an ironing board at drum shows, and it's super cool, and he usually gives me a shout out, and I'm super appreciative for that. But I like to sit here and practice with this brush pad on the ironing board, and I've gotten so much practicing done by doing this makeshift practice situation in a hotel room. So your downstairs neighbors might not dig this, but you can get a nice bass drum sound if you're on a second floor of a hotel room. Sometimes you may not have an ironing board, or you might be backstage, or you might be on the bus, or anywhere that you are, sometimes even an airport. I'll go find a corner if I've got a really long layover, and I will travel with a super lightweight snare stand, and this is an incredibly useful tool to have with you. So with this, and this is really light, this is the DW Ultra Light Snare Stand. So with this, I can just set this up anywhere and put my pads on top of it and then have an instant practicing situation. And remember that I keep these pads in my backpack or rollerboard, and if I have this snare stand, instant practice situation. And then sometimes if you don't have a snare stand with you or you're not in a hotel room, I've gotten a lot of practicing done with my brush up pad just right here in my lap. So if you really want to push things, sometimes I practice on my lap, just tapping on my lap. And I've done this on long flights, and I've done this in countless different places. And this may be part of the reason why my band doesn't want to fly next to me when we fly over to Australia or Japan, because I'm always tapping on stuff. But I've gotten a lot of practice done this way. So you can practice rudimental stuff while playing 4 on the floor and rotating your foot back and forth and getting that hi-hat on 2 and 4. So I'm gonna play some rudimental stuff, just tapping while playing 4 on the floor, heel down with my right foot, and rocking back and forth with my heel toe on the hi-hat. Now that's really quiet, but it's kind of aggravating to people, so you want to be careful and not do that when you've got your loved one next to you, or maybe your band members. So, you know, it's very quiet, but it can be a little bit aggravating to people who are nearby, so be aware of that. This is a great focus exercise. So I learned how to do the rudimental ritual over left foot clave by practicing this way, tapping. And Nikos Anastasiadis calls this the tapa-tapa method, and he'll tap out on his desk while he's at his job. But you can tap out with your fingers and learn a lot of rudimental stuff this way, and it's a great way to memorize things. When I was learning the LSU cadences to play with the LSU drum line, those 3 cadences, I memorized them often by practicing them just like this, tapping on my lap like this. So this is an absolutely great way to practice, especially if you're trying to memorize stuff. These are some of the practice situations that I've come up with that work for me when I have to practice and I can't get to a kit. So I've learned a lot of songs this way. I've memorized a lot of rudimental stuff this way. You can work on your time, you can work on your memorization, you can work on rudiments, you can work on brushes, you can work on all kinds of different things, and you can really get some practice time in if you just think outside of the box just a little bit. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I am posting new videos, which I plan to be doing quite often. So thanks for checking this out, and I'll see y'all later.